Good morning. Welcome Monday. How's everyone doing? Good morning, Millie. Good morning, Dottie, Carrie. Good morning, Miguel. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Cindy. How's everyone today? It's Monday, October 11th. And here we are. I'm here at Trilogy because, I've been living here for the last week. We were preparing for our open house and then life. So we started this because of COVID. Coughing conversation, that is, we started because of COVID. And we postponed our open house due to a COVID exposure that Greg, Amy, and I had with Greg's mom had COVID. We saw her. We all tested negative. But for the safety of all of you, we postponed our open house and just better to be safe than sorry. And we will have one soon. So it was quite, a week. So we were getting ready. We were really excited. We'd been talking about it for a long time. And then life. So, you roll with it. But Amy and I were talking yesterday. We were in the kitchen and she was humming some songs and she was singing, and then Greg mentioned something about You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and she started singing this song about happiness. And I'm like, hey, that's what I should talk about tomorrow at Coffee and Conversation. So peace be with you. Good morning. We're going to talk a little bit about what happiness is. Nothing too deep, just who we are, what brings us happiness, and bring a little joy to your day to start your Monday. So, as always, feel free to share. Tell us where you saw God this weekend, where you saw God maybe this weekend, this last week, wherever. And then also feel free to share with us things that when you think of happiness, happiness was my title. What do you think about? What brings you happiness? And it could be something as simple as this delicious cup of coffee that I'm enjoying. It could be something like sitting outside, enjoying the breeze come by. Think about that. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Good morning, Greg. Peace be with you. Carrie said she saw God in Mass this weekend with the return from their priest. Yeah, that was a huge blessing for Carrie and Carrie's parish up in Buffalo. God shows up, right? All the time. Are we just paying attention to it, right? And what are the things that bring us happiness? So, good morning, Angela. Happy belated birthday, Angela. Yes, Dottie also saw God in their priest returning, which is a blessing, a huge, huge blessing. Cindy, happiness is home. So I've not seen the musical You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. I don't know if any of you have. Chime in if you have. But good morning, Sue. But one of the things, Cindy, one of the lines is happiness is being alone every now and then, and happiness is coming home again. So there you go, Cindy, you're on it. A few of the things in this song from Happiness is, one says, happiness is finding a pencil, to which I thought, happiness is like finding that penny on the ground. Or a couple months ago, I was on a walk and I looked down and there was a $20 bill on the ground. I was like, what? Happiness. So, I took it, right? Because who left it there for me? I don't know, but it was mine. So I took it. Fair game. It was in the middle of the road. Who was going to come back and find it? I don't know. But, or, when you put on your winter coat from last year and you're like, man, what's in this pocket? And you pull out $20 or something, also brings you happiness, right? Or those pair of gloves that you were like, where did those gloves go? And then you pull them out and you're like, oh, there they are, because you thought you lost them. Happiness, right? Miguel, yeah, you love the musical. Oh, you were Snoopy in A Good Man, Charlie Brown. Nice. That's awesome. Look at that, small world. Good morning, Jessica. Hope you guys are all doing well. So feel free to chime in, share. Happiness is fill in the line. Share with all of us what brings you happiness, and um, and then also feel free to share where you saw God this weekend. Um, some of the other examples. Happiness is catching a firefly. Um, I was Amy and I were talking about this song and she was singing a little bit of it. And then she said, go look up the lyrics. And so I looked up the lyrics and it was that reminder of like things that, we're really good at worrying about things we can't control, over analyzing all of it, right? All of life. Like, what does that mean? Why did that person do that? What is God trying to tell me? But this song reminded me of just like that childlike faith of just like what brings us happiness. And we shouldn't overcomplicate it, right? Yeah, so good. All right, here. Some of you are chiming in. Greg says happiness is sitting back at the end of the day and being content with all you have around you. Loving those you're with, appreciating what you have, and knowing that we are in charge of our own happiness. Yes. A few years ago, I had a mirror in my bedroom, and at the top of it, I had printed a quote that said, so I could see it every morning after I got dressed, that it said, you're looking at the person who's in charge of your own happiness. It wasn't as long as that, but basically that like I'm in charge of my happiness for the day. So what am I going to let steal my happiness? And how am I going to move forward and be that example of joy and happiness? Carrie says, watching her 1-year-old niece. Millie says, watching her son play with his niece and nephew. Miguel, recognize happiness in my kids' laughter. Yeah, I put that on there. I was reading through this morning and I was like, what are some good things? One of mine was like laughing so hard your belly hurts. And yesterday we like in the midst of just the day, I felt like I did a lot of laughing, which was good. It's good for the soul. Like can't take ourselves so seriously sometimes. We got to laugh a little bit. Jessica, happiness is putting a smile on your face. Yeah, I put that too. Smiling at a stranger or just smiling at anyone. I know we've talked about it before. I know Dawn talked about it when she was hiking, but if COVID with the masks has taught us anything, it's to be able to like use make expressions with our eyebrows and our eyes and like engage with people still through eye contact and you can smile through your eyes. I mean, it's very like, it doesn't make the same thing like smiling like this, but you can see when your eyebrows raise and when you're smiling underneath, your whole face changes, right? Greg wants to know if Miguel, every now and again, did you really have to bite someone? Oh, when he was Snoopy, did he have to bite someone in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown? Is that what you're asking, Greg? Does that bring Miguel happiness and or you? Yeah. Yeah. So some of the other examples were happiness is singing together when the day is through. Happiness is having a sister. And I was thinking like, as I was writing mine too, like happiness is seeing my friends and family, hugging them, and just being together with people, right? And not really having an agenda. So yeah, I think, and one of the things over the last few days, we posted on Facebook, obviously, and so people had been reaching out, and a few of my friends had, reached out just to say, is everything okay? Like, how's it going? Hope everyone's okay. And so realize, I mean, we know people care, right? But for people to take that time is like, you know, a blessing, and it brings me happiness that like we do care about each other at the end, right? There's lots of good in this world. Um, oh, oh, Snoopy sings every now and then. I want to bite someone. I'm with you. Okay, man, I gotta watch You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Get up on my musicals here. Happiness is climbing a tree. How many of you climbed a tree when you were a kid? That's what I want to know. Raise your hand. Give me a hand emoji. Give me a thumbs up that you climbed a tree. I don't know that I climbed many trees as a kid. Yeah, my brother climbed a lot of trees and got pretty high up, and my mom always had a heart attack about it. But, happiness is getting along. Remember when you were a kid and, well, I mean, you might still fight with your siblings now, but my siblings and I, we like to fight with each other. And when we got along, my mom always made it a big deal. Like, look, you're being so nice to each other. Yeah, you'll have that. Happiness is morning and night, daytime and nighttime. Happiness is for anyone and anything at all that's loved by you. So what are other things that you love that bring you happiness? Here comes King. He's checking out the things behind me. You can't see him yet, but he's here. He's scoping it out. King, you want to come say hi? He looked at me like, no, he doesn't want to come say hi. So yeah, Millie climbed trees. That doesn't surprise me. Dottie climbed apple and cherry trees in Pennsylvania. Look at you, Dottie. Dottie, you should go climb a tree today. Did it bring you happiness? One of the things I thought brought me happiness was like being at the beach or the ocean, that smell. And then the other one was the crunch of of fall leaves under your feet. So those are my thoughts for today. What brings you happiness? And how do you find that happiness, right? And how do we help people remember what brings us that kind of happiness and joy? All right, so I'm going to invite my friend Amy in. She's going to sing you guys a little tune.
Hey, good morning. I'm coming in. I'm crashing Libby, like I crashed Greg a couple weeks ago.
It's all good.
No, but Libby we were talking, like she said earlier, we were talking about this song, and I loved like the simplicity of this now because I used to listen to the song as a kid, and I love now as the simplicity of it, looking at it as an adult. It's like, oh, this is like so sweet, because these are all things, as Libby was talking about, each one of them, that you remember how cool it was to know a secret, just like those kind of things. So I just thought that was so
simple things.
Yeah. So sweet. Did you read that? Do you read this part?
I didn't. No,
Okay.
I didn't, but that is funny.
So the lead in line to this is a musical, and I geek out on musicals. But this is Charlie Brown, who was, like all of a sudden discovering that something so simple made him happy. Charlie Brown, if you remember the character, is always worried about things and anxious about things. And what should I do? And I'm not sure. And then he never really makes a decision and all that kind of stuff. And so he had this little redheaded girl in school he always loved. And so he says, I'm so happy that little redheaded girl dropped her pencil. It has teeth marks all over it. She nibbles her pencil. She's human. I guess it hasn't been such a bad day after all. It's just like the sweetest thing. So then he sings, happiness is finding a pencil, pizza with sausage, telling the time. Happiness is learning to whistle, tying your shoe for the very first time. Happiness is playing the drum in your own school band. And happiness is walking hand in hand. You have to imagine like all the kids are singing a different line because they all have different things that make them happy. Anyway, visualize. Happiness is 2 kinds of ice cream, knowing a secret, climbing a tree. Happiness is 5 different crayons, catching a firefly, setting him free. Happiness is being alone every now and then, and happiness is coming home again. Happiness is morning and evening, daytime and nighttime too. For happiness is anyone or anything at all that's loved by you. That's my favorite part. I love that part. So thank you for entertaining me.
Yeah. Thanks for singing, Aim. Yeah.
So we'll send you off on a Monday morning with a little song.
So that's what you got. Yeah. So friends, that's what we have today. Short, sweet, happiness. What brings you joy? What brings you happiness for your day? So again, thank you for your prayers. Thank you. Greg's mom is doing well. She's resting, getting better. So keep her in your prayers. And like always, keep all of those who need the love of God and his strength with them this day. So we will see you this week. Carrie tomorrow, Millie, Greg, Friday, probably Dawn.
It's a regular week?
No, I don't really know. It's a regular week. We got it. And we will keep you all updated on a new open house date. So stay tuned. Don't you worry. You'll be here. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.